I, 31, recently had my cousin, 21, move in with me after he got kicked out of his college dorm and had no job to pay for rent. My parents told me I needed to step up and help because I own a house, live alone with my 2 golden retrievers and 2 birds that I had since last year. My cousin would make fun of me whenever I call my pets family and thinks I'm crazy. He has a bad sense of humor and thinks he's funny. He calls me funny nicknames like Robot, Terminator or Optimus Prime and others because I wear a prosthetic leg that I've gotten after I had an infection 2 years ago. I've been patient with him causing a mess and not even doing his own laundry. It's been 3 months and it's too much already. So recently he started doing pranks and using personal things in his pranks. Like clothes, my phone, stuff from the kitchen, etc. I usually take off my prosthesis before going to bed, and since I work all day I got to bed early. Unlike him, he stays up till 3 or 4 a.m. He decided to do a prank and hid my prosthesis somewhere. I saw that it was gone in the morning. He did it twice before and hid it in his room and the garage. I had enough of his bullcrap. I asked him where he took it and he joked and said that it was inside the fridge. I was livid. I started screaming at him to stop it and to tell me where my prosthesis was before I kick him out. He realized I was being serious and told me that it was in the attic. I let him go get it, and when he brought it to me, he looked worried and started apologizing. When I saw the socket had cracks, the adjustment pyramid and pylon were damaged. He told me he hid it under the old TV and didn't think it was this fragile. It was there overnight, so the damage has already been done. I lost my crap. I yelled at him. Well, all he did was apologize, saying it was just a prank, bro, which made it worse. I told him to leave and called my aunt to tell her about what her son did and that she needed to pay for the damages. Her reaction was shocking. She said that it was my fault because I knew how her son is and decided to take him in anyway, and that she won't take responsibility for his actions. I told her I'd seriously sue because I'm broke and have no money to pay for a prosthesis and crutches are unbearable. I was so angry. I kept lashing out at everyone. Especially my mom and dad, who argued with me and said that I can't sue family and this is my cousin and he meant no harm. I told them that he created this situation and needed to fix it. They called me awful for refusing to wait till Christmas is over and family gathering is over, then they'll figure something out. I told them to stay out of it, but until now they're telling me to not cause an issue. We're in the holidays, and suing my cousin will make them look bad to everyone. I'm stuck here with crutches, feeling awful after they all tried to shut me up and told me to wait till holidays are over, then they'll raise money for me and my cousin gets away with it. Not the idiot. Obviously, he's terrible. But if you sue him, would you even get any money? You said he's broke. You'll only get paid if there is money to be had, and you can't sue his parents because he's an adult and they had nothing to do with it. Definitely kick him the hell out and ask your family to help you buy a new one, as they mentioned. To maximize your chances of getting the money from them, I would recommend being low-key about it, catching more flies with honey, etc. If it were me, that guy would be dead to me. I'd pretend he doesn't even exist. Don't get dragged into a big argument or anything. He didn't just break something you own, he broke something that is critical to your life. This is just as bad, or worse, as someone breaking a person's glasses, wheelchair, throwing out needed medication, or something similar. Your cousin, effectively, broke your leg for his own entertainment. It is in no way your fault, nor should you have to apologize for wanting there to be some consequence to his behavior. Anyone who is upset with you for expecting your cousin or his parents to help provide a replacement is missing the point. Your cousin didn't consider the holidays when he broke your prosthesis. Why should you be silenced because of the holidays? I'm pretty horrified that his idea of a prank is putting a family member at a physical disadvantage by stealing their bloody leg at all. That's really not that funny, even if he hadn't broken it. Clearly, his sense of humor and moral compass is skewed. He needs to pay up for a new prosthesis, and your family needs to nut up and stop enabling this idiot by letting things slide. They're not doing anyone any favors. You're down a leg, they're going to be out of pocket, and he quite unfortunately probably still thinks he's funny. Everyone loses. Make sure you never help him again, the shameless little oik. When my husband first met my kids 4 years ago, Sarah 14, Jonathan 17, things were tense. Although my husband loved them instantly, Jonathan decided to make it hard and influenced Sarah to do the same. He treated my husband poorly, called him the guy mom married, broke and thrown his stuff, and shut him out when he tried to get close. We got family therapy, but Jonathan refused and tried to stop Sarah from going. Sarah was hesitant, saying she promised Jonathan not to do what her stepdad wants and was afraid he'd get angry. She then attended therapy and things started working out between her and my husband. They got close, which upset Jonathan, who tried giving Sarah, didn't know then, punishments for betraying his orders. We tried getting Jonathan in therapy again, but my ex defended his decision and demanded we leave it alone. Things have calmed down then. Yesterday morning at 8, Sarah rushed into the kitchen, where I was washing glasses, while Jonathan and my husband was sitting having breakfast. She was looking for her phone charger, but didn't find it in her room. She quickly turned her face towards my husband and said, "Dad, Jonathan, have you guys seen my phone charger?" Me, my husband and Jonathan paused. This was her first time ever calling him dad, and it came unexpectedly and naturally. My husband tried to answer, but was too overwhelmed to speak. His eyes were teary, he couldn't hide it even when he tried. Sarah didn't even notice, she just rushed out to keep looking. Jonathan followed her. My husband bit his lips and kept looking at me, then started crying. I was genuinely smiling, which awful, since he was a crying mess, but I was just so happy for him. Then I heard noise coming from upstairs. It was Jonathan yelling at his Sarah for calling her stepdad dad. He punished her by throwing her phone and breaking it. She cried, telling him to leave her alone, but he kept yelling, saying she betrayed their real dad and called this guy dad. I got involved and asked him why he broke Sarah's phone. He called her a traitor, but I replied my husband did nothing to treat him this way and his behavior was out of line. I said he either respect this household, his stepdad, his sister and me, or go stay with his dad till he agrees to get therapy and change his behavior. I contacted my ex, saying Jonathan will go stay with him for now and therapy's in order, since I can't let him intimidate Sarah, especially after Sarah told me she's afraid of him. My ex fought with me, saying I chose a guy over my own son, typical. He got his family involved and they all called me cruel for kicking Jonathan out of his own home, even after I explained how he's been treating his sister. I gave him options: get therapy or stay with his dad. No one seems to agree with me, but I think that no one is seeing, or maybe they're turning a blind eye, how Jonathan has been mistreating his sister. She needs to feel safe in her own home and be able to express herself without being punished or intimidated by her older brother. Not the idiot. Your son is being abusive toward your daughter. You are not picking your husband over your son, you are protecting your daughter from your son. And maybe it's for the best that he stays with his dad if he finds your husband so offensive to the point where he acts out like this. Your ex is also partially to blame for enjoying the abuse your son dishes out to members of the household due to his dislike of you remarrying. I understand he's hurt, but that doesn't give him a right to destroy or break property that doesn't belong solely to him. Therapy or move to dad sounds pretty darn reasonable in my opinion. No offense, but your son is a power-hungry abuser. Yes, abuser. He's keeping his little sister from doing what she wants out of fear, and thus far no one has bothered to stop him. And now he ruined a lovely little moment with his abuse. He shouldn't go to his dad's. He needs to go to freaking boot camp. Or the Maury show. Because today it was her phone, tomorrow it might be her skull. Just do whatever you can to stop him from abusing your daughter and husband. It sounds like you'd all be better off without him around. Your daughter and husband's relationship can finally grow the way it was supposed to all along, and your son can go off and be a miserable little idiot all by himself. This is not about picking your husband over your son, this is about ensuring that your daughter has a safe place to live. Right now, your son's behavior is out of control and putting your daughter's safety and well-being at risk. Unfortunately, while having your son live with his dad is best for your daughter, it will probably only make his behavior worse. Until your ex is willing to look past his own feelings about your remarriage and see your son's behavior for what it is, little progress will be made. Perhaps if your daughter asked her bio dad to attend a few therapy sessions with her, they could help him see the impact your son's behavior is having on her. I, 17, was in a car crash with my uncle in January of 2019. I have some PTSD because of it and tend to flinch every now and again if a car comes too fast or close on my left. I'm getting better about it and I'm so proud of myself. Anyway, a few weeks ago my mom, dad, sister, and I are coming home from eating out for dinner. My dad is driving, and he's had a few drinks. He wasn't drunk, but it still made me feel anxious. Our house is at the end of a winding dirt road. There are also many winding roads, just to get to the dirt road. I had already told my dad a few minutes earlier that I was feeling anxious, but he just brushed me off by saying okay. When we got to the dirt road, he decided to speed up and try to drift on the turns. I freaked out since it triggered me. I started to shake while crying and hyperventilating. I was yelling at my dad to stop, but he had the music really loud and couldn't hear me. My sister noticed and told my dad to stop. When he realized I was having a panic attack, he got angry at me and started yelling at me. He kept saying that he was trying to have fun with his girls and that I needed to stop because I was being dramatic. He also said that he wasn't going fast and that I needed to stop. I couldn't help it and I kept crying and hyperventilating. I ran into the house and I was still hyperventilating, so I decided to call my friend Asher, 18, and he helped me calm down. Once I was able to calm my breathing, I began to explain what happened. Asher was angry since he knew that my dad has anxiety and has had panic attacks before. He started comforting me, telling me that I would be 18 soon and that I could come live with him while I finish school, since he knows my dad has said and done some crappy things to me, my sister, and my mom. I agreed and made plans to move in with him after my 18th birthday. Somehow, I honestly don't know how my dad found out about Asher asking me to move, and he's not happy. He started yelling at me saying that if I move in with Asher, I would essentially be dead to him and that I could no longer have a relationship with my family. He asked me how I could do that to him and that I bashed him to my friend, saying that I made him look like a bad person. He went on to say that I should not have done that and that I shouldn't bash my parents to friends. He again brought up the fact that I was being overdramatic about the situation and that it's been almost 3 years and that I should be over the car crash. He then tells me that he's been in much worse car crashes, even once his car ended up in a canal, and that he is just fine. It makes me think that I am being overdramatic and that I shouldn't move in with him. So, am I the idiot? Oh my god, the overdramatic person is him. Also, he is being a really horrible father to you right now. It's all about him. How dare you have a panic attack when he's trying to have fun driving tipsy? How dare you talk to your friends about things he actually did? It's not bashing someone to factually describe their behavior. You don't deserve this, and if you have somewhere to go where people will treat you with the love and respect you deserve, then please go there as soon as you are able. Not the idiot, your father, sorry, is a tool. People react and deal with things differently. Just cause he didn't have PTSD doesn't mean you don't. Childhood trauma also sticks a lot harder. My stepfather was abusive. I am still affected even in my 30s. I would get woken up to the beatings in my dreams. Same PTSD. Some get better, some you just live with. I do think you should have a serious conversation with your father and tell him you aren't being overdramatic and that you literally cannot help it, and he should respect that and offer therapy if you can afford it for both of you. You probably need therapy too to help get over your trauma. You have to understand, your father clearly has some trouble with anxiety himself. He needs to seek out his own help to deal with it. Other than suggesting that he does get some treatment of his own for his anxiety in a non-confrontational way, there isn't really anything else you can do for your dad. He needs to get that help for himself. As for moving out, you're nearly 18. Your parents should already have a reasonable expectation that you will adult one day and move out of the nest. That he sees your potential independence as a slight against him is a possible sign your dad has narcissistic tendencies. I am a 38-year-old landlord of a few single-family rentals. One of the rentals is an old, beaten-up trailer from 1955 that I rented to a single mom and her daughter, around 14 now, a couple years ago. I purchased the property for the land and was upfront about my intentions with the trailer right from the beginning. I put the bare minimum of work into this trailer, but it is an affordable place to live for now. I charged her $600 a month and made sure she had working electric, water, hot water, heat, etc. The roof was old and leaking, and I have tarred over some leaks the past couple years a couple times. I told her when it comes time for a major repair it would not be cost effective to do it and I would be removing the trailer and placing a modular home there. Fast forward to last month. She informed me that there was a roof leak and needed more tar. Upon inspection, it is no longer feasible to keep repairing, and it would need an entire new roof. Well, it's not cost-effective to replace the new roof, so I told her she would need to find other housing. She proceeding to play the eviction ban card and has refused to leave or pay, even the $600. I had my lawyer send her the non-habitable letter and tell her to leave by September 15th. She has not paid September rent and has not mowed the lawn since getting the letter or left. So yesterday I went over there, walked in and started living. She called the police on me, and when they came I showed them all the paperwork and told the officer that she is right, I cannot legally evict her, but I am not evicting her. She is living for free and needs to pay for exclusive use of the house. If she does not pay for exclusivity, then she is my vagrant roommate. The officer sided with me and told her there is nothing he can do to make either of us leave. It is a civil matter unless something physical or threats of violence occurs. She is absolutely pissed, says I'm a scumbag idiot. Even though I have given her the most affordable housing in the area for almost 3 years now, lot rent in local mobile home parks is over $500 a month, and you need to pay for the trailer and have neighbors. This is on its own acre plot. I no doubt think I'm in the right here. Someone is living on my property and not paying anything. I have every right to use said property. I'm curious as to what others think about this. I know many landlords who would change the locks while she isn't home and risk the charge. I didn't do it that way. I even told her if she kept paying $600 I would let her stay, but you are renting the land, not the house. I can't keep losing money to fix something for someone else to live. You're the idiot. You're way worse than the renter. You act like you were doing this woman a huge favor by charging $600 to live in a barely habitable, old, beaten-up trailer from 1955. Sure, you made sure the utilities were working, but the trailer had perpetual roof leaks that you've known about for years. By your own admission, your general solution to maintenance was to put the bare minimum of work into this trailer, and your specific solution to the repeated roof leaks was to throw some tar up there a few times over the last few years. The trailer is probably full of mold. It sounds like a nightmare. You're the idiot. As a landlord, repairs are 100% your responsibility, and you can't simply make statements to wave that legal responsibility away. What you are attempting to do is called a self-help or constructive eviction. This is actually a crime in many states. In fact, by being in the domicile without the tenant's permission, you are also likely guilty of criminal trespassing. If the tenant has a clue, she will justifiably take you to court and empty your bank account with the help of a judge. You may also find yourself at some point a defendant against criminal charges from the state. The police were just being lazy and gave you bad advice. You need a lawyer, badly. You are a slumlord. By telling her if the roof leaked and she told you she'd lose her housing, you created an environment where she couldn't report maintenance issues you're legally required to complete, cost effectiveness be damned, without the threat of getting evicted for it. If she has a lease, you are on the hook to fix the roof, and I doubt the place will be deemed inhabitable if the inside is still in good shape. She is within legal rights to withhold rent until you complete the fix, and she is also correct that there are various eviction moratoriums in place. If she is even remotely legally savvy, I have the feeling you'd be taken to the cleaners over this and ripped a new one for trying to intimidate her. Unfortunately, few tenants are, and you seem a particularly tenacious idiot.